All right, guys, this was a masterclass, you feel me? And let me tell you something, man. I'm not gonna hold you. The other day, I was giving a masterclass. One of my cousins tried to hit me up, bro, and ask me for money, right? I guess they watched the channel. I blocked them, bro. I'm not your daddy. I don't care if there's a recession, gang, right? If you made it to this part of the video, all right, my cousin, I'm not your daddy, bro. I blocked them. Get out of here, bro.
Different. Something's really specific. I mean, I really made a milli in a minute. I haven't made a milli in a minute. Maybe if I really make a minute, how much do you make in a minute? Well, I make a lot. Listen, on the dividend, I make a block. Oh my God, why are they trying to block my stock? Trying to cop a GameStop stock, but damn it, boy, did you make a milli in a
What's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of The Gabriel Show. Check it out, guys. Listen, it's May 1st, right? The year's going by so fast, all right? And the crazy thing is, in 4 days, student loan payments are back, okay? Whether you like it or not, it's back. And you know what sucks about student loan payments? Even if you file for bankruptcy, that's the one thing they ain't gonna take out. You still gotta pay it, right? They could garnish your paychecks, and they could take away your income taxes. Basically, they're gonna find a way to get their money back. All right, so it's inevitable. All right, under this administration, there's no breaks for you. Okay, for me, I seen this. I seen this happening since 2020. Right, I was telling people, hey man, pay off your student loans. Okay, pay off your student loans, because if they're giving you a pause, no interest rate, blah, 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 take advantage of these times, all right? Around that time, I understand it was a pandemic and all these things, but I seen a lot of nurses who were making bank, bro, a lot of money. And they had the option to pay off their student loans, and they're like, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm gonna get this car, I'm gonna go on this trip, I'm gonna buy this house, X, Y, and Z. And I said, all right, do you. But you know what? Fast forward to 2025, I feel like there's a shift in the economy. With AI taking over, people getting laid off, especially off of government jobs. And now people's holding on to their jobs for dear life, right? The cost of everything's going up. The cost of groceries going up. The cost of rent is going up. Forget trying to buy a home, right? Renting is cheaper than freaking trying to buy a home. And then on top of that, the cost of daycare is going up. Everything's going up. And now they're about to resume these student loan payments. It's crazy. That's like the nail to the coffin, okay? So I'm not here to discourage you and talk about the facts, right? I kind of just want to speak to you guys about the sacrifice that you're going to have to make regardless, if you're in a position to make a sacrifice. Because I do understand for some people, it's basically, yo, do I eat or pay my student loans? Okay, but for some people who do have a job, and if you're blessed and you see that you have excess in your budget, you're going to have to really start prioritizing that. Forget I'm just going to pay the bare minimum and continue investing, and I'll make a greater return. And you're playing this interest rate game, and I'm telling you, just stop playing that game, bro. Okay? If you're investing, let's say at your job with a 401k, if I were you, I'd invest up until the match, right? I'd invest up until the match. Let's say your job is matching you up to 3% of whatever in your retirement plan. I would match up until that. And then after that, I'd just focus on paying off the debt, man. I'd get rid of the debt, guys. I'm telling you, like, let me tell you something. This is coming from somebody who paid off $300,000 worth of debt, okay? Prior to this, I wasn't on YouTube. I didn't have a YouTube channel. I didn't want to start a YouTube channel until I got rid of the debt. Because for me, okay, the debt made me anxious, okay? For me, the debt made me depressed. I couldn't watch YouTube. I couldn't watch people try to give me advice because it made me so depressed. I couldn't even watch people on YouTube because there's 19-year-olds and all these young people flexing on me, talking about, yeah, they're trying to give me advice. But in reality, they was trying to sell me a course. You know how many courses I bought and I got scammed? Because I was trying to get rich. Bro, I read one book and it changed my life. And this is why I always give respects to Dave Ramsey. He's not my daddy, but I respect him. Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. That book changed my life. And I'm going to continue to represent that book at the end of the day. Okay? Because I locked in, I read that book, and I shared that book with my wife. And it was history, guys. And you know what? I want to show you guys something. Because you know what? I'm able to do basically whatever I want right now, and I still don't do whatever I want. You feel me? Like y'all see in the beginning of the videos, I'm dropping the top and all that stuff, right? To be real with you, I'm only driving that car because I'm on vacation, okay? And I feel like it. But in reality, that's not my daily driver. You guys know what my daily driver is, right? It's a little RAV4, okay? Because I don't care about showing off to people, impressing people, seeking validation. That's not where I'm at anymore. You know, once you hit your 30s and you really start to become an adult and you have a family, you know what I mean? Something's going to click and you're going to be like, oh, snap, bro. You know, life ain't about seeking validation and trying to show off. Like, I got to feed these people, especially if you're the, you know, the man of your house and the primary provider. You're going to see it. You can't be blowing the bag on dumb stuff, right? You can't be going to the club and just spending your money on dumb shit and then your family got to eat, okay? But you know what? Like, I like driving it now because my mindset is so different and I'm in a completely different place and I'm worth way more than my car now. So that's something that we have to talk about, because when we graduate, we see these cars, these depreciating assets, and we can't wait to have it. We can't wait to buy it just to impress people who don't even care about us. They don't care about you not one bit, bro. Matter of fact, they're about to rob you. But you want to show off so bad, okay? You want attention. You know what I mean? Listen, bro. You cop the latest legendary Jordans, right? You wear it to school and they didn't even say nice shoes, bro. And you expect people to care about your car? Nah, man. You know, if you're going to do it for yourself, do it for yourself. Like, see, I did it for myself, and it's a good feeling not to drive this car, having no payments, and, you know, to feel the breeze going in my hair, whatever. But it's a different feeling, okay? Get rid of the debt first. Get rid of the debt, and you could have fun. These are toys, right? You could collect all the toys after. That's my advice for you guys, okay? That's the greatest piece of advice I can give you. If I can go back in time, that's what I would have done differently. Avoid all these type of debts, okay? Because you know what? You're gonna be like, nah, let me get the car. Nah, let me travel here. Let me use a credit card to travel here. Forget the student loans. You know, I'm gonna die with it. And now here it is, man. On Cinco de Mayo, it's about to bite millions of people in the ass. All right? And I'm not trying to make jokes about it, because there are some people who are really able to pay it and they didn't. All right, now they have to, right? They have no choice. So, guys, I'm telling you, man, I want to show you guys something. Matter of fact, can I show you guys something? Because, yeah, now I'm able to do whatever I want. Like I said, I'm able to travel where I want to go to, and I'm delaying my gratification. You know, I'm living in forced scarcity so that this way I can continue to get rid of the debt in my life, the mortgage and whatever. You know what I mean? These are some goals that, you know, I didn't just wake up one day and say, well, let me make a YouTube channel to show people I'm paying off my mortgage. No. You know, you have to get rid of your consumer debt first, okay? So that's what my channel's about. To get to where I got to now today, it took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of sacrifice, and you're gonna have to sacrifice too. You feel me? You need to sacrifice. You need to pay the price. You need to go summers where it's not lit, right? Your summers need to be dry, bro. You need to take the time in the library figuring it out, okay? Back then, I chose nursing. That's why I tell you guys what I do, so that maybe you guys can do what I do. Right, I chose nursing. I found nursing to be a good career. You know, I feel like it's an asset to me. It's a hedge against inflation. The job security is crazy. The flexibility is crazy. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe robots will be able to take over, but it's going to be a while. So that's why I chose nursing. Okay, it was a good career path for me. There's other reasons why I chose nursing, but you know what? I got a good return on my investment. Okay, with nursing, I actually made enough money to pay off my student loans. And during the pandemic, during COVID, when everybody was traveling, doing all these things, you know, I made a sacrifice. I made a sacrifice, and I decided to, you know, focus on paying off the debt. Okay, that's what I did for myself. And the next thing I did, right? Y'all already know it. You already know it. When I met my wife, right? When I met my wife right here, guys, she was my girlfriend. She was my girlfriend when I first met her. You hear me? Now, I know it don't make no sense because you got to ask the person out first. But the point I'm trying to make is once I seen her, I knew she was the one. Okay, so the first thing I asked was, hey, how much debt do you have? Because, you know, we getting married and we got to get rid of all the debt. You know what I mean? She thought I was crazy, but I was dead ass, guys. I had that COVID mask on, and I'm not even lying. You know what? Let me show you guys the receipts, okay? I have one of the notes I sent to my wife when I first met her. I want to share it with you guys. Check this out. All right, so check it out, guys. I don't want you guys to think I'm capping. Okay, so look at the date. Look at the date, right? January 28th, 2021. This is a little bit after COVID, right? I asked my wife, who's currently my wife, not even my girlfriend, in September of 2020. So we had just started dating, guys. Okay, and I sent her this, something called the Freedom Game Plan. Okay, see the dates? Let me read it for you guys. I said, listen, we are not only going to get married, but we are going to have I didn't, guys, my spelling is OD here, have a successful marriage. My goal is to have enough time with you and our family in the future, but we have to work hard now. So this right here is a game plan where we set realistic goals to achieve our dreams. I want to use this notepad for us to formulate and work as a team to make this happen. So let's get started with the plan. We work because we have to pay bills and go on with our day-to-day lives. Bills can be overwhelming, but if we are a lemonade, then we can be free. That makes no damn sense, guys. Whatever. She was laughing when she seen this. Some bills are recurrent, but others is just debt. So if we get rid of our debt, we could essentially be free. Imagine when you get your paycheck, you don't have to worry about paying nobody, and you can save all that money. What would you do? You can go on several vacations, support family, and just spend time with family instead of stressing. This is why I want us to go into freedom mode, a mode where we owe nobody anything. This is why I work so hard. I am struggling now to have freedom later. The major bills a lot of people in America are slaves to is the SCCM, student loans, credit cards, car payments, and mortgage. So let's do a diagram that represents your debt. Right here, you guys see it, right? Showing her student loans when I first met her car payment. And after that, guys, I showed her the mortgage. This was my mortgage payment that I had left. And I already showed her. You know why? Because I said, listen, notice how for mortgage I put 140,000. The reality is when you get married to someone, their debt become yours. So that's why I want to get rid of a lot of the debt before we get married. The mortgage will have to wait, but the rest can be done. Guys, listen, this is 3 months in September, October, November, December, 4 months into dating her. I'm already talking about getting married, bro. You see how locked in I was, man? She thought I was crazy, but I was dead ass, man. Because, guys, I seen the vision. I seen where we are now. You feel me? And look, this is me during COVID. During COVID, I sent her this video. Check it out. This video is just going to be quick. Hopefully you get it. So the game plan is, you see why I'm working so hard, because I want to be free. After this year, I'll only be in debt around like 20,000. 10 for my mom and 10 for student loans. But after that, everything I make will be going to me. You're in debt 20 for student loans and 40 for the car. Okay, so I understand that you have to pay these things, but imagine if you didn't have to pay that $500 a month, how much money would be going in your pocket. And student loans are frozen right now, but it's going to come back. So that's going to be an additional 200 that you have to think of given every month. Now, one thing that will help our marriage and our life be more successful, and just time together and enjoying things instead of working hard like our parents did. We could work hard for the moment, but in the future we want to chill, so we have to work hard now so we can chill. So what we're gonna do, when I get to that point and I'm done paying off my student loans, when I'm next year, when I get to that zero mark, I want you to join the Susu. Okay, you're gonna take 3 hands in the Susu. Right? So you have to believe in me and just trust me. These 3 hands will... Really quickly, guys, we didn't end up doing no susu. Alright. For my Caribbean people who know what susus are, yeah, man. Shout out to the people who do susus. I was involved in a few susus. Yeah, I'm not gonna hate on susus now, but listen, I don't do no susus because during that time, during COVID, people were dying that was in the susus. So I wasn't messing around having people play my money and I couldn't get my money. So we didn't end up doing no susus. We saved the money ourselves. All right. So anyways, let me continue to play the video. We're going to do, let's say it comes up to around 20,000, right? For example, 10, 20, whatever the case is, it comes up to 20,000, 21,000. Okay, whatever the case is, let's say it's 20,000 hypothetically speaking. I'm also going to get a lot of hands as well, okay? I'm going to knock out my student loans, and the rest of that money, I'm going to combine it with your 20,000. We're going to knock out your 1, student loans, and then we're gonna knock out your car. We're gonna knock that out together. I don't want you to have to pay $500 a month for 6 years. We need to knock that out ASAP so that you can have all that money in your pocket. We need to knock out the student loans so we can have all that money come in your pocket. Imagine whenever we get paid, we don't have to pay no car note, no student loans. Everything's coming to us. So I know that's where I'm gonna be by next year. But I don't want to get somewhere. That's called freedom mode. I don't want to get there and you're not there too. I need to make sure you're there too. So we're gonna get there together. So that's gonna take, a lot of working together, a lot of trust, and just belief in the plan. You just have to believe it when I say join the Susu, because that's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna join it. All right, I didn't end up joining no Susu. I was a real Susu boy back then. But anyways, so you guys see in that video, right? I wasn't even engaged to Shorty yet. You feel me? I wasn't even engaged. I was just dating. But I was so locked in, guys. Let me tell you something. I was assessing the situation, and I knew she was the one. All right, so fellas, let me tell you something right now. 1 + 1 = 2, right? I feel like marriage is a cheat code to life. It's the cheat code to life because, you're able to combine your resources. I feel like, marriage was made for poor people. It really was. Okay? And, if you could really find the love of your life, even if she don't know that you're the love of her life yet, she'll figure it out. But like I'm telling you, man, I seen her, smart, beautiful girl. All she had was a little bit of debt. And I said, you know what? We could take care of that. We could take care of that, and we could live our life of our dreams, man. We could live the life of our dreams. And, I had to really tell her the plan, although we weren't even engaged. But still, I'm so happy she believed in the plan. She trusts me, and she took that leap of faith. And you feel me? See that? Fellas, you guys got to lock in. You guys are too worried about being alpha males. You know what I mean? You're too worried about these people on YouTube, Andrew Tates and all these other people, alpha dogs, right? You want several females on your rotation, okay? And even when you get to the point where you do good for yourself, right? You end up fumbling the bag. You feel me? You get that degree. Let's say you become a nurse. Let's say you become a respiratory therapist. You become an x-ray technician. You know what I mean? You was never making this amount of money. Now you got some money in your pocket, right? Instead of you focusing on yourself, right? Continue to work out and get rid of the debt. Now you trying to go on tour and bag all these biddies, right? Now you want to go on tour and bag all these biddies. I'm telling you, listen, if you find somebody, right? You see she's a good person. She has good family morals, good head on her shoulders. She looks good. Her body's bodying and all that stuff, man. Yo, just lock in. Just lock in, because we be praying and asking God, right? Because let's say you had an ex that hurt you or did you dirty. You be praying and asking God, hey, God, give me somebody, bless me with somebody that can change my life. And God is trying to give it to you. You feel me? He's trying to give you that person. He's trying to give you the one. But then you end up fumbling the bag. You end up cheating on her, right? You end up sleeping with her friend. You end up doing something OD crazy, right? OD ruthless, just to say, yeah, I'm a gangster. You feel me? I got the hoes. And that's why, you end up fumbling the bag. There's a lot of guys lose their jobs. They get reported because they're messing with that girl. And then you end up turning some of these women too. You know what I mean? Because, damn, they gave it up to you. You feel me? They gave you all their resources, right? They had mad debt that they could have paid off, but now they helping support your ass, right? And that's if you have a career. How many people do you know, right? Like nurses is supporting a bum. Right? Instead of paying off their debt, instead of doing what they have to do, they supporting these bums out here, bro. We gotta lock in, all right? A relationship, marriage right there, I think that's the first thing. That's the hidden trick. And I knew that. I knew, listen, all this investing and all this stuff, I need to find the one. I need to find somebody, you know what I mean? Because I need to be focused. That's going to give me the discipline where I could use all my resources on one person. You guys think you're cool in alpha males, but during Christmas, when I talk to you on the phone, you're complaining because you have to buy all your side chicks a gift. Right? And you trying to tell them, no, it's not like that. You feel me? We just smashing. But deep down, you know damn well you can't go into her crib if you don't get her that gift. And now you drop in $100 here, $200 there. And you know what I mean? You saying I love you to 7 different girls, gang. And then when your friends talk to you, you trying to sound cool. Nah. She a side chick. She know her role. Nah, bro, she don't, bro. You making all these promises to nobody. And you know what I mean? You're not even making a promise to yourself or God. Right? Lock in. Find that person. Okay? Work together as a team, get rid of the debt, Get rid of the debt, and I'm telling you, your life is gonna be lit, bro. Once you decide to focus on yourself and lock in into your life, give yourself that self-respect, then you give another person that self-respect, and you guys build with each other, bro. It's a wrap. It's gonna be game over. Let's say you're making 100 bands, she's making 100 bands, you guys get married, that's 200 bands, bro. You know what you can do with 200 bands? You can get rid of a lot of debt. That's a bigger shovel. You use that shovel, you get rid of the debt in your life. You feel me? And I'm saying this to you guys today. I'm sharing my story because guess what, man? You have somebody you're dating. You guys probably don't trust each other when it comes to money. Listen, there's a lot of things you probably don't trust each other about first, right? You probably don't trust each other about a lot of different things. Work that out, right? Be locked in. Trust yourself. Work on yourself. Find that person who has that same mindset. Then watch. You're going to get rid of the debt. You guys are going to eat clean together. You're going to be healthy. And your life is going to be blessed. Right? That's how I was able to get rid of $300,000 worth of debt, guys. That's how I'm here today making a channel about paying off my mortgage. I couldn't do it without my wife. You feel me? This is why I have to give my lady the shout outs, and I have to give, first of all, thank God for the praise. I have to give God the glory and the praise, right? But damn, he really gave me a diamond, bro. He gave me a diamond, bro. He gave me a good piece. So listen, you probably have somebody in your life too, fellas, that you're not appreciative of, right? You got to appreciate your lady. And then you're going to live that life, man. You guys are going to be able to do things that you would never thought was possible. You feel me? I remember for my birthday, like around that time, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I went out to eat with my boys. And we were all talking about, yeah, bro, like, hell no. If I move in with my lady, oh, shit, she needs to pay some bills, right? And I was like that, too. I was like, yeah, but like I'm not going to get a girl who can't pay no bills, blah, blah, blah. She needs to go half with me, blah, blah, blah. And that's why I ain't going to hold you. I was thirsty about dating a nurse. Because, I was like, yo, if anything happened to me, first of all, she got her own monies, right? Big RN. And, I didn't want to date any type of broke girl. I ain't going to hold you. She needs to look good and she need to have her own money. But guys, let me tell you something, man. That right there that's an immature mindset, right? Because you're going to get to the point where you could pay off your debt, you pay off all your debt, and then you can live on one income, right? At the end of the day, you're not going to want your lady to work. You feel me? You're not going to want your lady to work. You're going to want your lady to stay home with your kids, right? You're going to want, as a man, you're going to want to be the one who's making the money, being the primary provider, and you watching your lady living her purpose, living her femininity. You feel me? All she's doing is, feel me, like she can still work here and there, doing what she got to do. She can still pick up per diem, but her real task, right? Her real goal is to play booty tag with you, all right, and play with her kids. You feel me? That's what she want to do, and just live her life. She don't want to get aged more or faster by working hard too. Bro, you can live the life of your dreams, guys. I'm telling you, man. But you got to get rid of the debt, man. You got to get rid of the debt, fellas. Okay, so lock in with your significant other. Get rid of the debt first, and then we can talk about all this investing stuff. You feel me? Then we could talk about investing in your 401k and the crypto and paying off the mortgage and this and that. But the first thing you got to do is find that person, lock in, and work together as a team and make it happen. You feel me? And that's how you're going to get rid of your student loans. All right? Because I know you're looking at the debt. You're like, yo, how am I going to get rid of this debt? You know what I mean? And this is where you need to make that decision. All right? You need to be wise. Don't waste your time about the person you decide to be with. You feel me? And you know what? They're not going to just, because listen, in this economy, it's not easy to get to that point. And I know ladies, you might be like, oh no, I would never want to be a stay-at-home mom. I want to work. That's a lie. That's a lie. All right. Once you see you ain't got no bills like that and you're able to stay home, I don't care if you're a nurse practitioner, if you're a doctor, you're going to be like, yo, I'm staying here with these kids. All right. And guys, you can make this happen for yourself. You can change your lifestyle. You can live the life of your dreams. I'm telling you. All right, we can make it happen. I want to help you guys get there. I'm not looking at what's going on this year. I'm thinking about the next 5 years. This is a sacrifice that you have to make. You have to lock in. You need to make this commitment with God and yourself. You feel me? And this is just me right here. I'm just coming here to give you guys a reality check, right? I'm not here to throw something in your face or, you know what I mean, to make you guys feel bad, make you feel worse already. You feel me? Because it already sucks looking at this debt and these interest rates and all these things like up your ass, bro. Now they got terrorists too. Nah, man, I got you and I'm here for you guys. You feel me? So all I could do for you guys is give you guys this advice and, you know what I mean, motivate you guys and push you guys and give you guys some motivation to get it done. I need you to get it done. Lock in. All right, guys, this was a masterclass. You feel me? And let me tell you something, man. I'm not gonna hold you. The other day, I was giving a masterclass. One of my cousins tried to hit me up, bro, and ask me for money. Right? I guess they watched the channel. I blocked them, bro. I'm not your daddy. I don't care if there's a recession, gang. Right? If you made it to this part of the video, all right, my cousin, I'm not your daddy, bro. I blocked them. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. We ain't doing none of that. But anyways, guys, I love and appreciate you guys. I gotta head out. Peace. I mean, something's really different. Something's really specific. I mean, I really made a milli in a minute. I haven't made a milli in a minute. Maybe if I really make a minute. How much do you make in a minute? Boy, I make a lot. Listen, man, the dividend, I make, I block. Oh my God, why are they trying to block my stock? Trying to cop a GameStop stock. But damn it, boy, did you make a milli in a minute? I don't know, haven't been here in a minute. Haven't been in the zone, man. Yeah, I'm finished. And they let me off, man. Yeah, I'm finished.